Hello all. Today we're just going to be doing a quick walkthrough on all of the event submissions for the fruit and vegetable themed shipbuilding contest. That was the goal for all of these, just build a functional ship based off of your favorite or just any fruit or vegetable. So we're going to kind of just go through each of these. I took a quick glance at them beforehand so that I would try to not miss anything. If I do miss something for your ship, drop it in the comments for sure. And I'll just pin, well, I can't pin all of them, but we'll do something about that to make sure everyone knows if I miss something, because you are all going to be voting on the winner for this. I'm not going to be choosing the winner. I'm just doing a walkthrough, so you can jump through this video. I will bookmark all the different ships, and I will also keep something on the screen for whatever ship I'm looking at. It will have the name, the ship name, and the creator name. I'm going to use the Steam names because that is where they're uploading these, but I will also in parentheses put their Discord name so that people know who's who, because a couple people have slightly different names. But yeah, we're going to start here with the Carrier, the Peapod Carrier, and this was built by mostly AWOL. I'm going to try to keep my opinion out of this as much as I can, but obviously it's going to slip in there, so take it with a grain of salt whenever I do. This is a combination large grid, small grid. We've got a large grid carrier. It holds 7, it looks like, small grid ships, and they are fighters. The little P's are fighters that will be able to launch from this. Got our control seat back here. Turret, looks like one turret for defense that's actually on the large grid, but it is fighters inside, so you should be able to defend yourself. We've got a landing gear on the bottom. There is no interior of this ship, it's just the seat right here, and that controls everything. Now this is of course a atmospheric, so let's take it down to the planet and see how it flies around. Alright, we've got the Peapod Carrier down on the planet. It is hovering comfortably. Looks like there's no problems with that. All of the P's in the pod are numbered, 1 through 7. Let's see how this bad boy moves. Alright, that's pretty comfortable. No complaints about that for me. Feels good. I don't see any thrusters that face up, but that's pretty normal for atmospheric ships. Just don't fly them upside down. It's a pretty safe thing. We got one turret on the big grid to defend it, but all of the P's in here are fighters from the looks of it, so not a big deal that there's only one turret defending it, because you've got all these fighters that would theoretically be doing that for you. Give one of these a go. Oh. First person. I like that there's a window and I can actually see in first person, even if it's pretty cramped. It's a nice feature to have, for sure. Alright, flies pretty good. It looks like we've got thrusters, 4 in every direction, so it doesn't matter how you're flying it. You should be completely okay. You don't have to worry about keeping yourself upright while you fly it. Not bad. How do the guns feel? Like glorified squirt gun? That the Gatling guns always feel that way, to me at least. Ah, pull up. Pull up. Okay. Ah, we're fine. We're fine. Minor driver error, I think, there. It is kind of having a hard time lifting with only 4 thrusters, 4 small grid ones. Or just 4 small ones. That might be because we're kind of high up in the mountains, though. So, kind of take that with a grain of salt. And it also might just be a bad driver. Let's see how it fares against trees. I mean, that's an important thing for me to test, right? Yeah. It doesn't care and the tree doesn't care, so. Alright. Let's grab another one of these little fighters and actually shoot something quick. Of course, the only thing there is here to shoot is this, so that's what we're going to shoot. Man, this thing's taking a beating. Oh, is it moving? Yeah. There we go. Finally defeated it. Just took out all the thrusters. Not bad. I think that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully I got everything. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Well, that's just space engineers being space engineers, I think. How dare you attach small grids to large grids with connectors? Alright. Well, the P has undergone a self-destruct sequence, so I think that's a perfect time to head on to the next ship. And we're back in space. With the next ship we are looking at, this one is the Cherry Bomb. It's got a nice look to it, and this was made by Psychoclops. Yeah, it was made by Psychoclops, who also goes as Blood on the Discord server. This is a small grid ship, using some hinges to get a good look here. Oh, and we have the colored thrusters. That's really the only mod that anybody used, was the colored thrusters, just to get a little bit better feel. And this just looks like retro future armor. It's very shiny. This is how we get in the ship. Looks good. The inside is basically just the seat, and this is airtight because those angled windows are airtight, so that's kind of cool. You can see here my O2 is high and I am warm inside the Cherry. We've got some info displays that are set up, some gyros, hotbar here. We've got a camera, a little targeting system for the Cherry Bomb. That's pretty cool. And we have hinge button. Let's see what the hinge button does. I assume it does something with all these. Ooh. Oh, hey. It realigns the ship. I bet I can fly around a little bit better this way. I bet that's what that's for. Of course, we've got the subgrid thruster control programmable block thing going on, so we can actually fly around with all these subgrids and with our thrusters on different subgrids. That's kind of cool. I like the it just kind of realigns for the sake of it, right? Because I could probably fly around like this too. It's a little bit awkward, I'm not gonna lie. So having the feature to realign so that you can fly comfortably is good. It's definitely good. I'm gonna leave it like this though, because I do like, that's like the classic Cherry look, right? And this is hydrogen thrusters. Now, before I go just taking this for a test flight, I'm just gonna copy it, because we all know it's probably gonna get crashed. I don't see guns on this, so the question is, my question, okay, I was able to get inside. We're going to put it in flight configuration. I just want to call this that because I think it's more comfortable to fly this way, probably. It is... I feel like it shouldn't be thruster... It's not thruster damaging. It just kind of looks like it is. But that's just because they're kind of close and it's creating a dust plume. But they're far enough away that the thrusters aren't actually damaging. I know that because I'm pretty sure these ones only damage up to 2 blocks away. We got thrusters in the back that are hidden. Okay. Alright, now my question is, are there warheads on this? I should have done this with the first one. Are there warheads It does not look like there are warheads on the cherry bomb. Take that how you want to take it. Reactor powered, okay. Hydrogen thrust. It should fly around on the planet too. Let's go ahead and just test that. Alright, to be fair, we are going to test this in the same region that we tested the Peapod. I'm just going to paste it in here. I'm guessing that's a no. It did look like it only had 1 or 2 thrusters. Hydrogen thrusters. Let's paste it a little bit lower and see if we can't... Yeah, nah, there's no way. There's no way this is flying in atmosphere with 1 hydrogen thruster. Okay, that's good to know. It is space only. Alright, our next ship is also made by Cyclops, or Blood. It is the Melonium Falcon. Spelled melon, of course. I really like the way this one looks. Again, opinion. But we've got a watermelon slice. And these bits are on pistons here. So I'm just trying to fly around this. Look at this glittery armor. We've got glittery armor, which looks real crisp in my opinion. I could bite right into that. We've got weldless armor, and then we have the camo, the force camo armor. Pretty good paint job on that, and they even used the plates to kind of cover this up. And we got some landing gears in the back. We got lights, hidden thrusters inside. The top of that is pretty good too. I'm gonna take it for a test flight. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it feels weird flying and not seeing or hearing thrusters. It just blows my mind every time. Yeah, first person. Alright. I'm going to do test flying these, and at some point I'm going to crash into the other ships. Just looking at the hotbar here. We've got some pistons. Can I use them mid-flight? I can, and I can still see. That's kind of cool. So we can close up here, and I just did that while flying, which is a good test of durability. See, the thrusters are worked into the seed spots. Open, close. That's not getting old for me. Don't fire your guns while it's closed though, because the guns are actually, they're right inside there. Kind of cool. It is kind of a fighter. We've got, what else have we got on the hotbar? We've got a camera. That is the one right up front there. We have our landing gears, which are hidden up underneath there. You'd have to have a special place for this to land. Or maybe those landing gears are for locking in place when it's closed. No. No, I can't lock them when it's closed. That's actually probably a good thing, because if you locked them and then hit your piston button, you could potentially just clang out real hard. So it's probably a good thing that those are far enough away that they can't lock when it's closed. Let's look at what we got for blocks. We'll just kind of scroll through this quick. Gyros, a bazillion thrusters, lights, mag plates. We have H2O2 generation, which is pretty, 3 of them. That's more than I expected. We actually have a medium cargo container on here somewhere. Probably in the main chunk of the ship. 2 oxygen, a whole bunch of small hydrogen. That's how they're storing all that hydrogen in this shape. And a couple batteries, a couple guns. And we do have a connector on the back. Can I access? Where's this medium cargo? Oh, it's right here. Okay, yeah, so the medium cargo is accessible from the connector there. Now let's try this ship out on the surface of a planet. I have high hopes because it does have quite a few thrusters, and they're all hydrogen, so it's already hovering, which is great. You'll love to see that. And, I mean, we're flying around already. It's not bad. All hydrogen does the trick, I guess. Fire our guns. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not super agile, but it's got a lot of armor on it, right? Because it's got this whole shell. So, pretty cool though. You can use this in space or on a planet. Probably transition between the two if you really want to. Does this have a survival kit? Because that would be awesome. I don't see one. Dang. If you could sneak a survival kit into this somewhere, I would totally build this on a survival server and fly it around. Use it as my shuttle to get down to a planet or whatnot. But either way, it's super cool. I really like that it has the capability to be used wherever you want. The next ship is our third entry from Cyclops, and it is the Physalis, or Ground Cherry. It is a large grid ship, which is a little bit different. We've got the open shell here. I'll peel back. On the back here we actually have a subgrid, small grid booster pack, which is very interesting. I think it looks really cool. Don't know how functional it is, but it certainly looks cool. I like it. I like it very much on the outside. They've got some nice lighting in there too. Okay, on the inside we have another subgrid, small grid booster pack. This looks like it does the thrusting in every other direction, which is a really interesting way to get your... Oh, look at this. My textures are rendering in wonderfully today. Can't do anything about that. Look at all of them. Anyway, this is an interesting way to get your thrust in every direction inside of a decorative ship design. We got here pedals. I want to jump in the seat so I can watch this. I haven't done this yet. Oh. Ooh. That's clean. Alright. Pretty cool. Can I fly in this though? I guess that's kind of the question. Okay. Not quickly, but yes. Comfortably. Very interesting. Okay. Let's open these back up while we're moving. Just gonna do that again, so you can get the full effect of the opening and closing. Look at how seamless that looks. He used the specific type of sloped blocks because they have no seams. You actually can't tell that it's not all one piece. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Inside is functional. We've got air, we've got respawn, we've got glitched out stuff. Control thing, look at that. That one is actually rendering right. Hydrogen storage. So we do have two bigger hydrogen storage tanks, which feed into, they feed into your thruster system. So you have quite a bit of hydrogen storage and a large H2O2 generator to refuel those. Not bad, not bad at all. Don't know if I'm missing anything. I keep thinking I can walk through here because this window is, you know, it is what it is. And I don't actually know if this airlock is airtight. I think it's just decorative because that block up there, I'm pretty sure is not airtight. But it's kind of an airlock. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the front of those is airtight. Actually, I can check just by looking at this if this is airtight. Just open the door. Look, it's airtight actually. Interesting. I wonder if that's the hydrogen tank that's making it airtight, because I don't think this is. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is a functional airlock, which is super cool. One more look around the outside here on this one. Oh, we should also hop in and look at what blocks it has on it. Forgot to do that. We'll actually just do that right here. Bunch of batteries. We have the connector at the back, so we can hook up to stuff. I missed those. They're in there somewhere labeling things. All the millions of thrusters. Little searchlight at the front. Of course, programmable blocks for thruster control probably, and something else. There is a reactor on there. And there's actually 4 of these tanks, which is quite a bit. A sound block. Wait a second. I need to check what the sound block does. And I also need to find where these displays are. Where are these little displays? Am I crazy? Also, we have to find out what the buttons do. Okay, this button does the pedals. What does that look like from the inside? Oh, you can still see. And you can still see out here because they have the... Yeah, okay. Okay. Pretty cool. Open those back up. We got lights, so we can have some mood lighting. I always like light switches. Adds a good effect. Gravity generator on and off. Thrusters on and off. Okay, that's what those buttons do. Where exactly are these small displays? I saw that there were like displays somewhere. So there's that one and that one. Maybe they weren't small displays. No, there's corner LCDs. Dang it. I want to know where these flat top and bottom corner LCDs are. Are they on the outside somewhere? The final ship by Cycloclops, aka Blood, is something I almost don't even want to look at, but that's because it's actually really good. And this is the annoying tomato. This thing drives me nuts just looking at it, which is, you know, it's doing its job. It's doing its job. Got the golden tooth. Look at him. I'm just looking down on you, cackling. Alright. This is a small grid, once again. We have a way to connect on the bottom. And it's painted nice and green there. We've got some landing gears, which are functional because they reach the bottom of the ship. And at the back, we have a door. On the inside, it is just one single room. Look at that, the door closed for me. We've got a little bit funky gravity right here, so don't mind the fact that we're a little bit tilted. That's because we have a bunch of ships parked around us. You can see the battery pack there. I kind of like that feature. We've got survival kit over here that is wired into whatever's up above the ceiling. You can barely access the survival kit, but you can. It maintains a very nice, clean red look inside here. My displays are showing up properly, which I'm really happy about because this ship has tons of them. Let's look at, like you're sitting in your control seat here and you can look around and see all the data. You've got the big red button, which I assume is like a self-destruct, or like it's a light button, but you know, whatever. Oh, hey, there's a camera. Wait a second. Oh, it's a periscope. Okay. I see. So this is actually... It turns to face forwards so that you can fly in first person, right? But you can go into the camera. So now I'm facing forwards. If I hit this button, it just rotates to the left 90 degrees. If I can get back into the view. See, it just rotates left 90 degrees. And that's just for looks, I assume. They hid that rotor in there pretty darn good. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the extra features like that. Extra features. There's guns too. I didn't even see that. They're actually hidden right up top there. See them? Annoying Tomato has some guns. Alright. What is the Yep, the annoying tomato. It's got an ore detector, we've got some engines on the hotbar, we've got thrusters. Before I go breaking this whole thing, I'm going to copy it. You can see the PCU there too, 8,000 PCU. It's a pretty decent small grid. We are going to just turn and use the camera to fly around a little bit just to see what that feels like. Kind of hard to tell without a reference how the flight is. Flight feels fairly comfortable. And once again, this is a hydrogen ship, so we're going to have to try this out on the planet. Flies around pretty good. Let's look at what all it has inside it. A bunch of lights, gyros, quite a few. 4 engines, a bazillion thrusters, landing gear, some LCDs, lights, 2 H2O2 generators, that's cool, 2 cargo containers, 2 tanks, 4 oxygen, ore detector. It has parachutes, I approve. Programmable blocks, projector with nothing in it, but you can use that for repair or whatever you want. It has a remote control, so you could remote control this if you don't actually want to be inside it. Has 1 battery and 2 guns. Do we have reactors? Oh, there's a large reactor in here too. So yeah, 1 battery, not a big deal. It's just backup. You got a large reactor and you have 4 engines. Yeah, so plenty of power production, antenna, and beacon. It's got kind of all the things going on here. Let's take this down to the planet and give it a try there. Here we are, 1 rotten tomato inbound. Can it hover? No. However, we're going to paste it close to the ground because it does have parachutes, right? So, come down here, tomato friend. Badonk. Alright, so we're on the ground, and now it accelerated fairly quickly in space, so I have a suspicion, right, that if I lean back, tell me I'm flying right now, right? I am flying, excellent. Right, so you can actually fly. You gotta kind of lean. Maybe that's a bit more than I need. But yeah, you can actually fly a little bit with this, and then if you want to go to space, you can go to space. If you don't want to go to space, cool. If you're just airdropping in to troll somebody, like I assume you would be if you built this ship, you can just fly down from space and pop your parachutes, and you can land right in front of them, looking like this, which is terrifying. So you can troll people, I guess, and if you really want to go back to space, you can kind of just roll back and head up. So, half a win for atmospheric. Our next entry is the Carrot Crusader by Game Night. This is, by the looks of it, an atmospheric only ship, unless something very sneaky is hiding inside. It is very carroty. It's got these low wings with the hidden atmospheric thrusters going sideways in there. I'm gonna just jump inside it real quick. We got guns. I guess technically, oh, these have no kick to them. I thought I was gonna be able to fly with my guns in space. I don't know why. I have these strange ideas. So we got magnetic plates on here. Let's open up, just see all the blocks that are inside it, just to make sure I'm not missing any other shenanigans. Yep, gyros, atmospheric thrusters. There's a larger one that must be hidden in the tube. Okay. Okay, let's take this down to the planet and give it a test flight. 1000 PCU. Alright. Get our guns hot. Oh, I'm using 100% of my power already. Probably that big thruster activating. if I take off of that... Again, it might just be because I'm in the mountains here. Might not be the best place to be testing these, but testing them in a harsh environment is a good thing, because if you build them and you use them in a harsh environment, you know, you want to know if that it's either going to crash or not crash. I mean, it's flying around just fine, so it's not crashing by any means, but it is maxing out its power. Worth noting. Sorry, I love guns. Having no trouble flying this around. It's pretty comfortable. Let's do the crash test. We always need a crash test, right? Not that bad, actually. It survived. It just lost the tip. Just the tip. I'm stuck in the ground now, though, unfortunately, so... Oh, no, it's not. It's just auto-locking. Never mind. Press 9 and unlock. Oh my gosh. I'm silly. Well, it survived a nose crash, which is a good thing. Can it survive landing backwards? I would call that a yes. All this armor on the back, like, you might have lost some thrusters, but, you know. Alright, that's enough of this one. Let's jump on to our next entry. This next ship here is the Watermelon Mothership, and this was built by myself. It is large grid, and it is a hydrogen-based ship. Kind of fly around the outside here. Got some big thrusters in each direction, one big turret, some hydrogen tanks. Kind of a organic mixed with mechanical look instead of a fully organic look that everyone else seems to have gone for. Just a slightly different take on that. My thrusters are exposed and not colored, but I thought that was fine. Maybe you disagree, that's also fine. To get inside, you have to come in the back here. This is kind of a just open air hangar bay. Got a couple connectors. Got our airlock here, which the timer is not set up on. Like much of this ship, it's just incomplete. This is still airtight though, because see out here, there's no air, and then right here there is. Because this curved window is actually an airtight block that you can walk through. Nice little keen airlock, but we've still got the immersive feel of a real airlock with that. This is the first room, kind of just a welcome room. We've got our respawn close to our door and close to our main control area. We come in here, we also have cargo access right here. So come in here, we've got, this is actually the place where you control the ship and you can fly it around. Got a couple button panels, which I didn't set up anything on, like usual. We've got couches for lounging. This doubles as the lounge for the ship. Place to put a banner or something like that. This ship is very much a work in progress, but hey, that's what I got done for the competition, so that's what we're doing. Come down the stairs here. We've got our hydrogen engines, which are kind of just backup. Over here we've got the nuclear reactors and some batteries as well, and our jump drive. So we are a jump capable ship, a centrally located gravity generator so that we don't have to deal with having too much extra gravity. I decided to go for a vertical design with this because I thought that would be interesting and unique, slightly different than the other melon, which I'm kind of glad I didn't know when someone else was making a melon, but they made a horizontal flying melon slice, which I actually think turned out really cool. It opens and closes. Mine does not do that. We've got production floor here. This is our main storage. One large cargo, one assembler, one refinery. They have full modules on them, but there's only one of each. Down this tube is all personnel quarters. There's really not much to see down here, though. Just drop down to the bottom. This is the very bottom of the ship. We kind of just got open space. I didn't finish any of the bottom parts of the ship. This would be a room. We've got some ports, viewports. I don't even have lights down here. This would be a separate room, a bedroom. Go up a little bit further, and we have another bedroom right in here. And behind this wall is actually where the cargo fits in, and there's some piping and whatnot. So that is pretty much the entire interior of the ship. For being a large ship of my design, normally my ships this big are not as agile. I was kind of expecting the melon to be kind of silly to fly around, but it feels pretty good to me. Most of its thrust is you know, forwards. We got one big one backwards, one down, one up, and we only have 3 to the sides, or 4 to the sides actually. So strafing is, in my opinion, relatively slow. I also have nothing in the cargo right now, so it's going to be significantly slower one way down, but it's a fully functional base and fully functional melon ship. Alright, let's, I haven't tried this, actually, I haven't tested this, but let's take this down to the planet and see if it can fly there. Man, this feels wrong, pasting this in here, but we're going to give it a go. Yes, as expected, it is not something you fly around in the atmosphere. However, look at how long it's balancing. It's actually not going to tip over because it has thrusters keeping it from tipping over. So, if I put some parachutes on it, which it doesn't have, by the way, if it had parachutes on it, and it had some landing gears down there, this could come in and land on a planet. Of course, a lot of things could happen if they were actually planned for, so. I'm going to see if maybe I can tilt back and take off, because I do have 2 large thrusters going that way. I mean, I no longer have a thruster facing down. But yeah, 2 thrusters. If you face straight up, you could take off from a planet. A little bit awkward. If you had stuff in your cargo, you probably couldn't fly. We're going back to space where this ship belongs. Actually, I totally lied. We're not going back to space because the very next entry is also made by me, and it is a purely atmospheric ship. This is the Banana Patrol Craft. It is, yep, just super simple. It's a banana that you can fly around on a planet. It has bare minimum of everything, so it's got a little bit of battery power right here, this giant battery. It has a reactor for recharging. That's the only way to recharge this ship. And we just got some lights, and you fly around with it. Oh, something cool that I do like about this design is my magnetic plates, my landing gears, are up on the stem of the banana. So you kind of gotta hang it from something to park. It makes it a little bit awkward for parking, but it's a banana. You gotta build your parking with that in mind. Yeah, it's fairly comfortable. It's not super speedy or anything, but it's fairly comfortable to fly around on the planet. There's plenty of lift and plenty of thrust in every direction except up, because I never do that with my atmospheric ships. So don't fly it upside down. Banana has to be flown in this orientation. Got a bit of a stripe on it. With both of my builds, I went for a partially organic look, not a 100% organic look. So I did put a stripe on this one and a little ladder, and we've got a chunk sticking out the top. A little bit different idea. It is based on a banana, but it is not purely a banana. Everyone else in the shipbuilding contest decided to go for the full encapsulating look, which I think is really cool. I just decided to do something a little bit different. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. There's not much to see in the blocks. Like that's it. Those are all your blocks. It was the simplest ship I could put together that I thought was a decent depiction of some sort of fruit. It's a flying banana. Alright, our next ship is also a banana. This one here is large grid, and it is Ban's Nana, made by Banshees. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer for this one, this is not the original paint job, and that is because Ban decided to use the only paint that I don't have, and when I pasted it in, I'll show you what happens here. Okay, so here's the original paint job of Ban's Nana. You don't get a good look at it, unfortunately, because it's partially transparent, because it's still in like projection mode if I'm holding it, but they use the golden armor for painting the thing, and it's the one skin I don't have, and when you paste it in, look what happens. Nope, you don't get it. You don't get the golden skin unless you pay the pennies. So bravo, sir, you found like the one thing that's official game content that I don't own. So we're gonna get rid of that. I tried to come up with paint that was as close as I could, and I think this one looks okay. When you actually fly away, they pretty much look the same, and they have the exact same armor edge texture. Why? Unfortunately, my PC hates rendering in textures, so I'm just going to cut and paste this, and maybe this will help. Okay, yeah, that helped. Until I fly close to it. Anyway, I did the best I could with the texture. I'm sorry, that's just what we're going to have to deal with. But it is a large good banana. The overall shape is pretty good. It's a pretty beefy banana. And this is, by the looks of it, I see all ion thrusters. So this is a specifically spacefaring ship. We're not even going to take it down to the planet to crash it. I might take that back in a second, because I do like crashing things. And yeah, dear Lord, does this look terrible on the inside because my textures are not rendering. So I'm going to see if I can do something about that, just so that we can see what the inside looks like. I'm sure it looked very nice with the golden armor, but I don't have the golden armor, and for some reason my glamour armor texture is not rendering. So I'm going to putz with that for a second and see if I can sort it out. You know, perhaps this is the best we're going to get. I'm using the retro future armor and trying to get a gold color. I actually don't even think this looks terrible. This might be what the inside originally looked like with the golden armor. Yeah, Ban, you're just going to have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. And this looks terrible, and yours looks so much better. I don't know, because I don't have the thing, right? So here's the inside, and now this texture is not rendering properly either. You know what? You're just going to have to deal with that, game, because I can't fix it, unfortunately. We've got nice weapon display, some tool racks. We've got there's our antenna there. Snuck in kind of nice. Gravity generator, gyros, batteries, some balls, because balls are good apparently. We got some office space down here. We've got a full medical. And go a little bit further down. Make sure that your stuff's not rendering properly, because that's how you have to play this game. You know what? I'm just gonna go and we're gonna make our lives easy. You're just gonna have to pretend that this looks nice, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? So I apologize, Ban, but okay. We've got control seats here. I assume this is how we actually control the banana. It's gonna look silly because I just all painted it, but don't think about the looks now. Go back to the beginning of this chunk of the video if you want to see what it actually looks like. This is just for flight testing. We've got a forwards camera and a reverse camera. I like that you can see part of the ship just a little bit in one of the cameras, because that helps you tell like which side what camera you're looking out of. That's something I can always try to do with cameras. We've got a bedroom. Wait, what? This has got to be an intentional troll. Okay, you've got your bedroom. Let's see what's up here. A bathroom, shower, kind of like a personal apartment. Yeah, okay, so you have the bed set up so you can like stare through the glass at the other person sleeping. Oh, that's creepy. Why didn't you just put the beds on the outside? I guess he wanted the full shell of the ship. But yeah, that's great. That's always humorous when you've got beds like looking straight at each other, but like they aren't attached, so like they're for looking, no touching. You can like look and stare at the other person. We've got sensors, but they aren't opening the doors for me. I assume that's what they would do though. They'll probably open the doors or do various other things. I'm going to copy this and paste it, and we're going to give it a little bit of a fly around. Also, interesting note, this is a even number centered ship. Look at that. Yeah, pretty good job making a even number centered ship. And another interesting fact, my little banana is an even centered ship. Like every other ship on here, I'm pretty sure is an odd number centered ship. Yeah, one in the middle, one in the middle, one in the middle. Yeah, something completely different. Okay, we won't say that that one is. This is an odd number centered ship. Everyone builds odd number centered ships, right? I prefer them myself because they're just easier with blocks. But yeah, this is an even number centered ship. We haven't looked at this one yet. This one, nope, this is an odd number centered ship. Okay, so unique-ish kind of bit of the design. Has an even number of blocks that are the middle of it. So we're going to jump in our forwards view, and this is ion thrusters. I think most of the other ships used hydrogen thrusters for the most part, so this one is going to be slower to move around, but it doesn't use hydrogen fuel, so huge bonus that you don't ever have to mine ice. That is the trade-off for ion thrusters. They have a little less pop to them, but you don't have to worry about fuel. You just go mine some uranium once in your life, and you're pretty much set. Does this ship have a jump drive? Okay, I guess I shouldn't search like that, because I know Banshees likes to rename all of his blocks. Okay, these are not renamed, so that's, yeah. There's no jump drive. That's okay. There probably could be a jump drive. It has a lot of interior space in there. You could probably just shove one up at the ceiling somewhere if you wanted to. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Moves around decently. Rotates just fine. We've got two cameras front and back. I do not see a connector on the outside of this, but that's okay. The ship apparently was in a bit of a incomplete state when they had to submit it, so perhaps there will be upgrades to that one in the future. Well, that's going to be it for the bananas for this one. There were only two types of ships that had doubles, and I was part of both the doubles. Makes me feel kind of good. We have a banana, a big banana was built, and I built a little banana, and there was a little melon slice that was built, and I built a large melon slice. This was completely unorchestrated. It just, that's what ended up happening, so kind of neat. Now let's move on to our final ship here. The last ship we have here is the Something Spicy, and it is a co-submission by Elusive Ghost and Psycho Clops, aka Ghost and Blood, on the Discord server. So we've got another large grid ship. This is the biggest ship in the competition. Look at that. Quite large. I'm just going to fly around the outside of it first. Got a combination thruster pack on the back, ion and hydrogen. Should be enough to get this big boy moving. We got Spicy on the side. Very good. Oh, we got some sort of hangar going on in the front here. That's kind of interesting. Some eyeballs. I like that. Pretty smooth top. Oh, okay. You can see into the bridge, it looks like. See into the bridge from there. Not bad. Got some landing gears and a connector on the outside. These landing gears, though. These landing gears, wait. These landing gears are not on the same level. Right? So those are... That's a little bit strange, but probably still functional. I've just never seen that before. These are nice and packed in there, though. I do like that. Use the big ones and just pack them in nicely. I suppose... yeah, maybe if you took those off, this would Am I crazy? Are those actually on the same height? Almost. I think those are on the same height as this like block here, because we got the half block. Yeah, so the bottom of those is the bottom of this block. So they're actually not that offset. They just looked really offset to me when I first looked at it. They're not that bad, actually. They're pretty close. How do I get inside this, though? I suppose we got the hangars here. I don't see a door, so I'm going to go in through the hangar, and we'll see if we find a door from the inside. So we've got the double gate doors, which is nice. I do like that. And, oh, they just automatically close for me? Interesting. That's kind of cool. Let's see what these button panels do. These operate the gates and landing pads that are actually locking landing pads. That's kind of cool. I assume the same thing on the other side. Alright, the sides are labeled A and B. We've got our gravity generation there. A little bit high up, but that's a decent place to put it. Air. I like how the inside is also green. Got some stuff. Let's go up the stairs here. Some more. Oh, these are cover blocks. I'm like, what is this? I never use those blocks. Hinges. Let's open this up. Front hanger. Okay. Oh, this is the front bit here. Okay. So we've got hinges. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. We've actually got some hanger hinge thing going on. I like how they don't both open out. I was expecting them to both open out, but they kind of like one opens down, one opens up, and it makes a nice, easy way to fly in here. Now, there's not a lot of room on the inside, but I suppose you got a decent amount of room. You can park on the walls. You can fly in here, fly all the way down here if you had a small ship. Park down here if you want. I do like that feature. That is a cool feature, and it is airtight because you have these bad boys. Dang it, why can I never push the right button? Alright, you got these things, you got the actual hangar doors. So that's airtight. Let's get that closed back up and head back towards... I guess that's the front of the ship, right? I'm lost already. Let's head back this way. It's another hangar door. This is very interesting. The prolific use of hangar doors instead of little doors. Hi. We got some small doors somewhere in the ship. I thought this whole ship, and look at this, it closes behind me. It doesn't open for me, but it closes behind me, which is very interesting. Where are the sensors for this? Is it just timed? All the doors close after a certain amount of time and it just happens to be closing behind me? Interesting. Let's see what's in this room. Okay, we got a little apartment. It's actually a pretty nice little apartment. It's very red, but you are in a hot pepper ship, so you signed up for this. Another apartment. Looks like just a mirror of the other side. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's go up here. I don't see any exits until we get to the top. Ah, this is the bit that you can see from the outside. This is just a little bit of a lounge up here. How do you like this? We'll check in the back to see if there's any painting on the walls talking about cake and lies. There is none, as expected. That's the hangar we came from. Let's head down here. I do like this. Gosh, I have so much of my opinion in this video at this point that it's just so hard for me not to give my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. If you don't like things that I like, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. I'm just exploring. So this is the antenna for the ship. I didn't see an antenna anywhere else, and this is what I do with almost all of my large grid ships for antennas. Anything I'm trying to make compact, I will super grid a small grid antenna on, because a small grid antenna takes the same power and has the same range and works exactly the same as the big one, but you can do the whole thing in two large grid blocks, instead of like 1 trillion, which is how much the large grid antennas actually take up, in case you didn't know. Well, over here, let's look at what blocks are actually on the ship. I'm going to just scroll through real quick. A lot of vents. We have good ventilation in the ship. We do have some connectors. I only see one connector, but that's okay. Bazillion gyros, as expected for a large ship. Bunch of thrusters. These are all hidden somewhere because you can't really see most of them on the outside. I think it's just the thruster pack at the back that you can see from the outside. So these are all hidden thrusters, which is cool. I have no idea where they are. Also, there's 2 large ion thrusters. I didn't know that because there's only one at the back. So there's a giant thruster hidden somewhere in this ship. And about 1 billion lights. A good chunk of O2H2 generators. Very good. Very good. 3 small cargo containers. Are there big cargo containers? I don't see any big ones. It's not really a hauling ship. That's fine. About 1 bazillion small hydrogen tanks. Again, that's how they fit all those tanks, all the hydrogen into this shape. I just had big tanks like sticking out of my ship, but this is the other route to go for sure. Reactors, bunch of reactors, cool. Batteries. Alright. Pretty comprehensive set of things. Got a bathroom. We got another bathroom. And another hangar or something. Oh! Wait, this is the bridge. Wait, so this is the front of the ship. Oh my gosh, so the big hangar thing's in the back of the ship. Also, it closed on me again. I do like when people use the desks like this. So we got desks, we got control, we've got the spicy. Let me look. Wait. So that was in the front. Oh, so I go to the back, and then when I go down, it turns me around 180, and that screwed me up. So I am at the back of the ship. I just got zigzagged and turned around, and we're at the back, but we're facing the front, right? Alright, I'm not going to paste a new version of this in. We're just going to take it for a little test flight right here. It turns, honestly, for a ship this big, it turns very comfortably. It also spins very nicely. I guess it's kind of a long boy, so spinning's the easier. This type of spinning is easier than, you know, this type of spinning. Ugh. It's not terrible. I've flown ships that were this big that were way worse than this, so actually fairly agile for something this size as far as turning. I guess judge the thrust for yourself. I'm just going to fly around these other ships. I don't know where all of the thrusters are hidden, but they're doing a decent job. Alright, took that on a full circuit. Let's do the last thing we're going to do in this video, I think, and that's going to be take this down to the planet and probably crash it. Alright, let's paste it in low to the ground first, see if it can hover. Can you hover? No. Not surprising. But what if we rotate it? We gotta give it a fair chance like we did all the other ones. That's no. Okay. Well then, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to try to sled down this mountain in this ship. Well, that didn't work at all, so as you watch me toss this thing around and finish it off, you should head over to the Discord. There will be a link in the community events channel to a poll, so you can vote on which ship you think was best. Probably just be voting for your top pick this time. We're not going to do multiple votes. Also, if you want to go check out these ships yourself, I'm going to create a Steam Workshop collection for all of this event's ships. So you can go to that collection. Link for that will also be in the description. So go there, check them out if you want to, and yeah, vote. I'm interested to see who won. So good luck to everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.